Clocks on the stove.
Yes,
Clocks on the stove. Clocks on the stove.
Hey, man, I don't know what. He said clock on the stove, but they better take their ass home. Yes.
Welcome back, Clocks on the Stove. First and foremost, congratulations to the United States men's national team in soccer. Just beat Iran 1-0, moving on to the quarterfinals. Yes, we'll drink to that. Next up, I am coming down with a pretty bad sickness, so I'm going to try to limit my sniffles and sneezes. But yeah, week 12 NFL recap. A lot of crazy things are happening. Two things I want to say before we dive into this. First and foremost is everyone in my two fantasy leagues, you guys can suck me. I am 12-0 in my 32-man league by a landslide. I was supposed to lose by like 15 or 16, and then Josh Jacobs was like, Grayson, let me just get you 50 just to make sure you're all right. So shout out Josh fucking Jacobs. All right, and after the game, he was like, I don't give a fuck about y'all's fantasy points. I'm doing this to the win. Like, I'm not happy with this. I was like, yeah, don't be happy. Give me 60 next week, motherfucker. If this would have mean for you to keep balling, yeah, keep losing. I don't give a fuck. And then in my other league, I am 9-2. No, I'm 9-3. First place on my side of the division. Things are looking good for your boy in fantasy. I care way more about the 32-man league just because I bring home a K and your boy's poor. But yeah, my fantasy's going pretty well. The other thing I wanted to do, Zach, is our question of the day. Been thinking about this one a lot. I got a TikTok on it earlier, and it stated, would you rather get $5 million right now or go back to your 16th birthday, like the second you turn 16, but having all the knowledge that you know up to this point?
I would make so much more money with all the sports betting knowledge I know. It'd literally be the Back to the Future episode where like he brings the book back in time and he's just like, I just know games. And people would call me an idiot and they'd be like, oh, dude, like, what do you mean the Bills aren't going to fucking cover against the Detroit Lions? I'm going to be like, just watch, bro. Like,
dude, there's that. And then like, think about it. Like, so obviously I'm going back in time. And a lot of people in the comments of all these videos I saw were like against that and said, just give me $5 million out. But like, you take me back till I'm 16. First of all, I'm winning 2 state titles in wrestling with what I know now. Okay, that's a given. That's GG's. Y'all are fucked. All right. I'm gonna get straight A's, knowing what I know now. I'm gonna go to a fucking Ivy League school. All right. I'm gonna invest my absolute dick into Bitcoin. All right. I'm gonna just like, there's so much stupid things you could do, and then just ball. Like, fuck it, we ball. You know.
I think the most important thing is all the biddies that I fumbled back then will no longer be fumbled.
Yeah. Facts, no facts. Yeah. It would be a little weird though, because even though I'm 16 again, like I still have the mind of a 23-year-old and they are still 16.
Okay, before we get into any legalities, we're just gonna leave it where it was. I think we get the point. But yes, definitely going back in time.
Yeah, I'm going back in time. Dude, you'll make that. I could honestly make $1 million in high school knowing what I know now. Just like where to put money and shit. Like,
yeah.
Oh, there's so many teachers I would have told to fuck off too if I could go back.
Yeah, I would have been Elon Musk's like high school best friend. I'd be like, yo, oh god.
Crazy.
But anyway,
imagine if we started this when we were 16 too. Like, imagine we'd be 7 years into this shit.
Yeah, would have thought, and I probably would have been a lot better off than I am now picking these games.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, starting us off. First of all, for those that celebrated Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Hopefully it was good. Get to spend some family times and watch some high quality football, because all of these games were pretty much one score games outside of one. We'll dive into that. But let's start us off. Our Thanksgiving Day game was we'll call them Buffalo Bills heading to Detroit. Fun fact, this was the first time a team has won back-to-back games in Detroit since 2016, I believe. And it wasn't even
Buffalo played there.
Yeah,
last week, yeah.
It wasn't even the Lions that were able to get back-to-back wins in their own home stadium. But that is such a Lions stat that it doesn't even surprise me. But what does surprise me is how close this game was. Detroit played this game very close. I think – see, here's the problem. First, I'll just break down the score. Buffalo ended up winning 28-25, I believe, with, what was it, like a last-second field goal. But, yeah, just complete joke. Down the stretch there, you had Josh Allen completing a pass to Stephon Diggs. extremely late in the game. There was like no time left on the clock. They shouldn't have even have had a chance. But yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell did what he had to do, coach his guys up, got them to cover the spread. Good for them. Obviously, you want to win at your home turf on Thanksgiving, but look, you were clearly the inferior team. People thought you were going to get blown out. It's good that they were competitive anyway. Look, with how much hype they had going into the season for what they were the year prior, you know, people had a lot of praise for Dan Campbell and how he was able to coach his team up, and people were really believing in him to be this guy. Look, I still believe he is that guy, but you're not going to be there right away. You're not going to turn around.
No, it's an investment. You're an investment.
Yeah. And look, for as well as Jared Goff has done with this team, with this whole situation, you know, I still don't think he's the guy to really lead you. Unfortunately, I do think it's going to be one of those situations where he's going to be put in that Baker role where it's like, all right, you're going to like lead us to not being shit. And then the moment we're even a fraction of good, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like,
you're going to do exactly what we asked you to do for us. And then when you can't do more, we're going to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. You're literally going to be the racing horse that wins the round. And the moment I see your ankle even wobble a little bit, I'm putting a 22 through your shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, my takeaway from this game, Jared Goff, I mean, like, since we're talking on him, he's not playing terrible. 23 for 37, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, he's not playing horrible. I did play against Amon St. Brown in this game, who absolutely fisted me in fantasy. He went 9 for 122 and a tutty. He got 7 rushing yards as well. But dude, let's talk about the Bills. First of all, on the Lions, Zach, like you said, it's not a sprint, but the progression they made in 1 year is already noticeable. Zach, you flip a loss, you flip one game, one loss, make them win. They have the exact same records as the Bucs, and I think right now they have the exact same record as Green Bay.
Yeah.
So they're not terrible. They're in every game, and they play for Campbell, bro. And that's what's so important is wanting to win for the guy leading you. And I was talking to my dad about it on Thanksgiving right after the game, and I was like, who else could be doing this job like the way he is right now? He's killing it. Yeah, you got to get a couple more pieces. Yeah, you're the worst program ever. It's going to take a little bit of time, but he's killing it. On the Bills side, dude, what the hell is going on with them? Josh Allen this past 3 weeks just has not been that guy, dude. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he didn't play horrible, but he went almost 5, he went 24-42, 253, 2 tutties. He got sacked, and he got 3 times for 16 yards, and he threw a pick. I'm not saying I don't think Josh Allen is horrible, and he's getting, like, especially on Twitter, dude, he's getting destroyed on my Twitter feed. I just don't think he's on the level as Patrick Mahomes. I think he's still a good NFL quarterback. I just think he's not on the Mahomes level. You know, there's always this argument about like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, like who's better, they're the next generation quarterback. It's Patty. Like he's better.
Speaking of Allen, you know, his interception in the third quarter, that was his 6th turnover for Buffalo in the red zone. And that's more than he had in the past 3 seasons combined. So he's obviously, his turnover issue has become a prevalent problem. It's definitely something that needs to be addressed. Another thing for the Bills that doesn't really help them is, you know, Von Miller went down with that right knee injury. You don't really know what you're going to do with them. And Deion Dawkins, their left tackle, another knee injury. These are guys that really help your team in the long run of things. You know, we saw what impact Von Miller had for the Rams last year during their deep playoff push. It's not someone that you can afford to lose, especially this late in the season. But I don't know. I feel like what's missing with Josh Allen is his comfortability. Like it always seemed like when he played so loose and relaxed and he was having fun out there. It just seems like he's so stressed out playing football that like he's not able to just like go with the flow. Like
it's not his weapons because this is the best receiving core he's had ever.
Yeah, I know. You look at Gabe Davis, you look at Isaiah McKenzie, you want to look at Stephon Diggs. Like he's got
even Devin Singletary is a freaking receiving weapon.
Yeah, Devin Singletary, Dawson Knox, even Cook's little brother, James Cook. Yeah, you have the weapons. McDermott's a good coach. You know, he can make things count for you. They're just not doing too well.
Do you think, Zach, do you think possibility-wise, when Josh Allen gets there, they suck. They have no intentions of being good. Then he's this fucking needle in the haystack that comes out of nowhere, makes them good. And now instead of their expectations being like, let's make the playoffs for once, like let's be good again, we need to win a Super Bowl. Do you think that could also change the way that Josh Allen's been playing, and it's making him force things more rather than be more natural and I can't what's the word I'm looking for? More authentic with it.
Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like if you want to step, because like here's another issue. It wasn't just taking that step and becoming like just a turn this team around to now becoming a Super Bowl contending quarterback. Dude, people are acknowledging that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You know, he took that step from being like a promising up and coming quarterback that could end up taking over to now is the time where you need to prove that you're in the upper echelon of elite quarterbacks, you know? And if you want to be held in that high regard, you're going to have higher standards put on you. Now, look, I know it's a bit unfortunate that these expectations have come during a season where he's kind of had a slump year. And, you know, that's okay. What the issue is how consistent are these problems going to be? You know, is this going to be a one season thing where it's like, oh, we just had that one off year? Or, you know, is it going to lead into next season where it's like, all right, dude, you're still turning the ball over. You're kind of killing drives. You're kind of losing us games here and there. Like, we know how great you are, but if you can't win us games, especially when playoffs are involved, how can we trust you? Because especially where they're at now, if the Bills say they're as good as they are, the quarterback position cannot be a liability. You need to be able to rely on that, especially in this.
Most confident. That needs to be the most confident part of your team.
Yes, 100%. And
what if now, hypothetically, what if Josh Allen goes complete reverse Kirk Cousins, and then when playoffs come, he's just God?
Then it's fine. Then
no one gives a shit, right?
Yeah, as long as you make it to the playoffs, no one's gonna care. Like the problem, that's another thing where like people want to digress. Like, dude, you could be a regular season MVP, all that shit, but if you lose first round of the playoffs every year, no one really cares. Yeah. All that's gonna do is we're just gonna hold that over your head every year.
It's better to be an average quarterback that makes it to the dance and wins, and then to never make it.
Yeah. Like they always bring up in the LeBron Jordan debates, would you rather go over to a hot girl's house and smash 6 out of 6 times, or would you only go over there like 10 times but smash like 4? It's like you'd rather smash every time.
Yeah, but it's also like the 6 out of 6 girl was only like a 7 out of 10, and the 4 out of 9 girl was like a 9 out of 10. You know?
Yeah, but what if it's just like the best ever? Like, you never know.
Anyways,
you never know.
Moving on to our next Thanksgiving game, we had the New York Giants playing America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys taking it 28-20. Did not watch much of this game, but let's be honest. For me not watching it, I'm assuming that the Giants' injuries are just killing them right now.
I don't know. I mean, they only had 3 players out. You know, Jonathan Hankins.
I thought I saw a whole list of guys that wasn't playing.
I mean, I guess maybe they have more coming back this week, but from what I've seen, defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins, defensive end Terrell Basham, and cornerback Kelvin Joseph, you know, they're sidelined with their injuries.
Belton too. Dane didn't play.
Oh, for the Giants, you mean?
Oh yeah, I was talking about Giants injuries.
Oh, my bad. The only thing I saw, you know, Dane didn't play, but during the game, Giants cornerback Cordell Floft left in the third quarter. But that was for a concussion protocol. I'm not sure if he has a concussion.
I thought going into this game, the Giants had like 10 guys not playing. Like they had a lot of injuries.
They might have. Regardless, I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys just did what they had to do coming out of halftime. You know, the Giants did what they needed to do to take the lead. You know, Daboll had him really well coached, had the proper game plan to take the lead early, went up 13-7 heading into the half. And then CeeDee Lamb kind of did what CeeDee Lamb does, and that's just
but dominant. Dak didn't really have a great game.
Yeah, nothing to really brag about from his perspective. I don't really know, dude. Dak's one of those guys where I feel like he's gonna have one of those Troy Aikman careers where the team around him is just so good that like you think he's great, but he's really just like all right. You know what I mean?
I used to be such a Dak dick rider in college. When he was in college, I thought he was amazing at Mississippi State. But I think
he was.
I don't think he's bad. Like I think he deserves to be an NFL quarterback. I just don't know why they threw him that mega contract. Because I mean, bro, you give any top 15 quarterback the O-line that he played with in his career there, they're going to do the exact same thing but better. Like
here's another thing I have. Jerry Jones is also one of those guys that if you were to put me under center and we won 10 games, went like 10-0 in that run while I was a QB by only me handing off the ball, he'd be like, yeah, that guy's worth like $45 million.
Yeah. Like what?
Like, dude, what do you see? Like, I'm not making like I'm not throwing dots all over the field. I'm not doing any crazy shit on the run. Like, I'm not a legitimate top 15. But like we said, I think this leads into another issue where the view that wins are a QB stat kind of inflates how much his quarterback gets paid. Because at the end of the day, as long as you win and you're a QB, that's all that matters. Because look, people still are making the argument that, oh, well, Cooper Rush was still winning games consistently. You can't sit here and say Cooper Rush was a better quarterback, though.
Dude, Cooper Rush was fucking my fantasy team.
Yeah, he just did what he had to do, but he's not a better quarterback. You know what changes? Mike McCarthy actually trusts Dak, so he's going to call more plays that allows Dak to success and fail. And guess what? He fails sometimes. That's part of being a fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't think Dak, like I said, I don't think Dak sucks. I just don't think Dak deserves that mega contract. And I don't think he's amazing.
Yeah. I think another thing for the Cowboys that they did extremely well in this game, and it's kind of the reason they won, is Saquon was only held to 39 rushing yards. He did have a tutty, but like I said, if you want to stop the Giants, you have to force Danny Dimes to kind of do his thing. Because I'm going to be honest, look, I don't think Danny Dimes is terrible. I'm not going to say he's good, but I don't think he's terrible. Like, he's all right for where he's at.
He can make some things happen sometimes.
Yeah, but if it was like a 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter,
you're fucked. You're fucked.
Sorry. Unless he breaks off like an 80-yard run, which he most likely will trip within the 20. But other than that, solid game played by the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb did his thing. Dak, not his best, but whatever. Ezekiel Elliott got a rushing touchdown, but I think Pollard's kind of taken over there.
Yeah, I'm very anti-Zeke. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but that's all I really have for that game. Also, shout out Dalton Schultz. I did tell Kyle Benedict, if you are listening to this, that Dalton Schultz would probably have multiple touchdowns because it just felt like one of those days. Dak hadn't looked his way in a while. It just seemed like his safety blanket, and he was going to turn there eventually. So you're welcome. I also said Michael Parsons was going to have multiple sacks, so you're welcome for that as well.
Michael Parsons is a dog.
He is a dog. Shout out Penn State. Moving on from that, we had one more Thursday. This was our Thursday night game. Man, this was between the New England Patriots taking on the Minnesota Vikings, and it was in Minnesota.
Bro, the Pats looked good for the majority of this game.
They did. And look, people want to bitch about, the Pats got screwed over because of a missed call. And, we would have been in that game or won that game because of a missed call. Dude, as a Pats fan, if you ever leave it in the hands of the refs, you deserve to lose anyway. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I know you want to bring up Rams Saints with that ghost PI call at the end of the game not being scored. Look, don't put yourself in that position anyway.
It definitely was a catch, though.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, it was definitely a catch.
But it reminds me back when Pittsburgh scored that touchdown against the Patriots. I don't remember if it was in the playoffs or late in the season that would have pushed the Steelers into higher seeding in the playoffs. And I want to say, I don't think it was Pat Freiermuth, but he caught a touchdown, caught the pass, took 2 steps, extended it for the goal line, passed the goal line, and then hit the ground. And they were like,
"Oh, I remember that." Yeah,
and that's what caused the rule change to say once you break the plane, you no longer have to complete the process of catch. It's a touchdown. And then we turn around this, and they're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that kind of pissed me off. I think it's the Patriots' fault anyway. You let Justin Jefferson have a Randy Moss-esque game with whatever stat line he put up. That was absurd. Also cost me
9
my fantasy
catches, 139 yards, and a tutty.
Yeah, just fuck me, right? Look, Patriots' run defense has been good all year. They shut down Dalvin. 22
Dalvin
carries,
didn't do shit.
42 yards. It's what it was. Look, Mac Jones.
Can we acknowledge something real quick?
What?
Kirk Cousins looked good in a game that wasn't at 1 p.m.
Yeah, but I feel like the entire day of Thursday is just essentially just an extended 1 p.m.
I know, dude. Prime time Thanksgiving. Kirk Cousins 30 for 37, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this: Thursday, the day of the week, is like the 1 p.m. of your work day. That is what it
Max.
feels like.
Yeah.
Like you're right there to getting off. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. You're like, fuck me, bro. There's still 2 more games today.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kirk Cousins was hypnotized into thinking it was a 1 p.m. game. That is the only explanation for this. I will say, though, next week we have 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins versus the White Death, Mike White. Not saying it might be game of the year,
but it might be game of the year.
But it might be the game of the year. We might see Mike White throw for like 800 yards in a game, or Zach Wilson may earn his job back. We'll see. Regardless, yeah, nothing too much to say about the game. Moving on. Our next game, this game literally made me want to gouge my eyes out.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost in overtime to the Cleveland Browns. If Todd Bowles and Brian Leftwich still have their jobs, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go in on this real quick. First of all, I do have Nick Chubb in my fantasy team, so bless. But I also have Mike Evans, who got locked the fuck down all game for some reason. So that counteracted my Nick Chubb. 2 things. One, I want Brady gone. I want him. I don't care for him anymore. I think he's old, and I want the Lamar era in Tampa Bay to come. Lamar, you want weapons? You want a chance to win a ring? Come to the Bay, bro. Come to Tampa Bay. We got it all for you. We got luxury here, man. You put Lamar Jackson in this offense with real receivers and real everything. Holy shit. How diverse of an offense is that? Okay? Crazy. But the thing I want to go into more is coaching. When we hired Bruce Arians, I was very against it. I was like, I don't like Bruce Arians. I think he's too old school. I don't think he adapts to the way we play. I just thought he was. I don't know. I wasn't that intrigued. He had to impress me. Now, granted, he didn't give a fuck about my opinion, but in my eyes, he had to impress me, and he did. And then we get rid of him this year, and we promoted him to the front office. So I do some digging, and basically, word on the block, at least word in the Tampa Bay area, is Tom Brady retired. Because when he retired, Tom Brady was never supposed to come to Tampa. Tom Brady was supposed to go to Miami. Shit happened. He came to Tampa. Tom Brady retired. He thought by retiring, we would terminate his contract. Oh, he's never going to play again. Then he would hop over to Miami, say, fuck you to us, and then get a percentage of the team, all that yada, 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 rich people shit. He retired, and Bruce Arians was like, I'm going to just hold on to your contract for a little bit. And Tom was pissed because Bruce saw it coming. Bruce knew, this man's not retiring. He's going to go to fucking Miami. So he wouldn't terminate his contract. He was like, oh, I'm going to just hold on to it. And obviously, when you're Tom Brady, the franchise is whatever the fuck you want. So he was like, I want Bruce out of here. I don't get to do what I want to do. Because Bruce would put his foot up his ass when he was playing like shit. Bruce lit a fire under these guys that Leftwich doesn't. Or Bulls. They don't. They just fucking don't. And Arians did. And now they're like, oh, we promoted him to the front office, when in reality, they basically just told him you can't fucking coach. I think you get rid of Bowles, get rid of Leftwich, get fucking Arians back in there. Let's relight this fire. We still have time to come back in the season and make a run, but it's got to happen now. It has to happen now. How the fuck those guys still have a job? Absolutely no sense to me. You're muted, Zach.
What pisses me off is it'd be like a 1 possession game, and they would do the courtesy, show the head coach on the sideline, and Bowles just sitting there stale face, just staring off into the distance. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
He has no urgency or will, no fire under him.
How do we not call that timeout at the end of the game? How do we not call that timeout in the fourth quarter? You create a 30-yard pass, dude. You have 3 timeouts. You're not going to use them. You pulled a Jeff Saturday, or I should say Jeff Saturday followed in your fucking steps, because he was like, oh, I guess we'll save our 3 timeouts for next week.
Yeah, but what are you doing, dude? What about the punt?
Yeah, dude. Oh my god,
bro. And in the interview, he goes, well, we didn't want to risk a chance of Brady throwing an interception. Tom Brady has not thrown a pick in an overtime game, and I think it was the last 16 years or something like that, last 14 seasons.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
What he doesn't throw picks, bro? He's not gonna throw a fucking pick.
Yeah,
and honestly, I would rather the ball be in the face of my franchise in his hands than punting and throwing it on my defense.
Yeah, that's another crazy thing is they were looking at them and they're like, oh, well, I'm afraid of my, 7-time winning Super Bowl quarterback throwing an interception.
Not being good in crunch time.
Yeah, not like he has the most fourth quarter come from behind victories ever. Oh, sorry, I didn't trust that guy. Oh, who are you going to trust, though? Your rookie punter to kick a touchback, which, by the way, I don't blame him. Like, punters.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the punter. It's not his.
Yeah.
It wasn't his choice to go out there and punt.
Yeah, but like, oh, dude, so infuriating. But
Dude, I've been seeing a bunch of memes that are like Jacoby Brissett, like he's honestly been playing well, even though this was his last week starting.
yeah, it is. It's the Watson special coming to a town near you. What's next for both of these
memes
teams?
have been so good, dude.
Oh yeah, let's see what's next for both of these teams. I believe
Cleveland's
right
at Texans, which is Deshaun Watson's first game back against his home team, in which he was getting multiple massages.
Go figure. By the way, that deserves a little reporting. Do you think they decided on that 11 game mark?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. They knew 100% what they were doing when they added that one extra game into the suspension.
Yeah. And the Bucs are playing the Saints, and let's face it, the Bucs somehow can't beat the fucking Saints at anything.
Yeah.
Except for the one time this year, I guess. But yeah, that's a joke. Also, Bucs might not even have Tristan Wirfs.
No, he's out. I'm pretty sure he's out this weekend. I'm pretty sure it was already announced.
Yeah, he may be out. They're fucked. Let's be honest.
Dude, it's hard to beat Bucs. Just give us Lamar, please. Please.
This next game, a little more interesting. We had the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Tennessee Titans in the Music City. Cincy pulled out the win, 20-16. Tannehill led all passers with 291 yards. Samaje Perine played decently well, 58 rushing yards. And T. Higgins was the receiving leader with 114 yards.
And Joe Burrow was only sacked one time. That's a win if you're a Bengals fan.
Hey, win's a win. Shout out T. Higgins, by the way. I don't know why, but he's just that guy. Always is that guy.
Dude, who was it? I think it was Casey that said it. If T. Higgins was the receiver one, he'd be putting up same numbers as Jamar Chase. He just doesn't get the same looks.
Interesting.
T. Higgins is a dog, dude. He was gross at Clemson.
Interesting. I don't know if I'd go that far though. I don't know.
Yeah, but he could be a wide receiver one somewhere.
No, he would be a wide receiver one for a lot of teams, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he is.
It's very dumb question. Jamar Chase hurt?
Is he still dealing with that?
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't get a single catch.
Yeah, I think he's still dealing with that hip pointer injury. That got hurt against the Panthers, wasn't it? No. That was in the Bucs. He got hurt the game we were at. What was it? Wasn't Hooters following your fight? Where did we go?
Oh, Wing House.
Wait, no, what? Where did we go the next day?
I know you're talking about. It was like a wing place.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it Ale House? No.
No, it was Miller's. It was Miller's. Yeah, Miller's Ale House. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Miller's. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, because I remember we were sitting there and I watched him get hurt and I watched us lose to the Panthers and I was like, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was bad. Anyway, yeah, he's dealing with his injury. Look, Derrick Henry is that guy. I ended up trading him to.
Dude, I told you. I told you.
Yeah, but I ended up getting Josh Jacobs. So did I really lose?
You won that.
No, I didn't get Josh Jacobs from him, but I ended up getting Josh Jacobs through my other trade. So like, I ended up like balancing out my like debacle of.
Dude, Josh Jacobs is that guy, bro.
Yeah, good God.
Yeah, I don't really got much to say on this game either. I think it just yeah, I didn't watch it or anything or even like hear much about it.
Yeah. The only big thing is the Bengals right tackle, Leo Collins, went down in that game. He's a huge part of their line. So the fact that you said they only got one sack, I can promise you there's going to be sacks in Joe Burrow's future. I just pray that his kneecaps will be able to stay connected to his body. As for the Titans, only one injury there. They played pretty well. What's next for these two teams? Cincinnati will play Kansas City next week. Good luck. And the Titans will play Philly. Good luck.
No, there's an L for both of them. They'll be 7-5.
Yep, more than likely. I'm not a doubt in my mind. Now, this next game is really weird because, well, first off, it's the Houston Texans, and they went down to Miami, played the Dolphins. Now, look, Final score of this game was 30-15, but that was very misleading because it was
It was
30 to 15.
30-0 at half.
Yeah, it was 30-0 at half. It was just a straight ass whooping. By the way, I gotta say it. Tua is that guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if you heard that report or that interview where Tua asked him, they're like, "What like really changed from like last year to this year?" And he was like, "Well, I had that whole thing with Bulls where like I got sat because I wasn't playing well, and I just really was down on myself. And I'd wake up in the mirror and I'd look at myself and I'd be like, do I suck?" And I didn't know how to answer that. And he's like, and I remember when Mike Daniels showed up for his first day, he made me sit down and watch a 700 play highlight film of myself and told me how amazing I was. And then I realized that I was he realized he was him. So then he comes out. Yeah. By the way, that's how you be a fucking head coach.
Yeah.
That's how you lead your players. You inspire them. You show them who the top dog is. And Tua really is him. He really balled out. 299 passing yards. Really love these guys. Look, I don't know what happened after halftime because I'm gonna be honest, I turned the game off. It was 30-0. Who gives a shit after that point? I don't know why the Texans benched Davis Mills because Kyle Long is not any better. Davis Mills could at least
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
No, you said Kyle. You said Kyle something else.
Oh, Kyle Long. I don't know why. Yeah, Kyle Allen. Anyway, dude, I don't know why you take out Davis Mills. I don't know why you bench him. Your team already sucks. Might as well let him ride out. That way he can prove to be a decent backup in years to come. Maybe trade him for some draft capital if teams need a backup somewhere. I promise you teams still do it because I saw Chase Daniels earn $42 million over his goddamn career. And I watched Luke McCown play for 85 teams through my lifetime. Shout out Luke
Ryan
McCown.
Fitzpatrick too.
Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. So shout him out.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Harvard.
Harvard, baby. Anthony Nelson.
Tony Ferguson. But yeah, dude.
Hold on,
I
I'm
think
learning, brother.
bringing Tyreek Hill in really blessed Tua as well.
Yes.
He didn't have the game I needed him to have my fantasy, but I mean, he's still doing well, and I think that the Dolphins are pretty legitimate, man. I really do. And the Texans are just the Texans. They fucking suck.
Yeah. You know who else sucks? The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. The Bears robbed us. I thought we were getting a Nathan Peterman game.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck was that? Did they explain why?
Bullshit. No, they just went with Simeon because fuck them.
Like,
okay, here's what people need to understand. If you know you're gonna lose a game and you know you're not a good team, why not have the meme quarterbacks?
Yeah, the fans want. The fans want.
Yeah, give me my Trace McSorleys.
Yeah.
Give me my Nathan Petermans. And
give me my Ben DiNucci's.
Yeah, give me my Ben. The fact that Ben DiNucci is not on the roster right now.
Yeah, what the
infuriating. Fuck? Because by the way, Ben DiNucci's TikTok, money.
Yeah, no, Ben DiNucci's the boy. He's the boy for sure.
He's the boy. By the way, Bucks signed Throw God just for the memes. I would literally laugh my ass off every week if he came out with hype video for the Bucks, just like saying some dumbass shit about the players. I would love that nothing more. Besides that, yeah, this game was shit. This is why we're just memeing it because I want to see some meme action. It was Mike White's second breakout game, the return of Mike Jesus.
Yeah, do you think he's their guy now?
I mean, I guess.
Because Wilson, dude, all right, also, all the memes of Zach Wilson, like Luke Skywalker, Zach, or like whatever, like him on the sideline. No, he's not. No, this kid still sucks. I don't care how pissed off he is. He's not going to go out there and start hooping. He's terrible. He's been terrible. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, no, he's not. There's no revenge game. No, he's done. He had so many times to prove it, and he sucks. Here's my problem.
The fact that they were so quick to just be like, oh, yeah, we spent a second round draft or a second overall pick on this guy. Yeah, we're going to bench him. We're not even going to see if, like, we can even, like, try to fix him anyway. Like, here's the thing. People were saying that, like, oh, no, they just took, like, the Tua route where they benched him some games, and then, then they brought him back, and he was better this year. I'm like, no. That's not what happened to Tua. What happened is Brian Flores benched Tua's ass, and then Mike Daniels showed up and was like, nah, Tua, you're that guy. Get back in here. Salah was more like, we wasted a pick on you. You suck. Sit the bench. But yeah, thank you. But that's kind of how it went down. Look, do I think he should have been playing anyway? No. He's not. He's just not the answer.
It obviously showed at this point, Zach, you have to wonder if it's a behind closed doors issue as well. Like, even there's something like that we don't see that's going on because I mean, dude, you're the number 2 pick for them. Like, you were their franchise quarterback. They should be like doing even the Bears are trying everything they can to keep Fields and make him better. You think they do the same for him? And the only other thing I want to announce is I know that the NFL like in season Hard Knocks is dropping for the Jets or something, right? Or something like that.
That'll be interesting.
There's something dropping soon with the Jets, and it's their head coach. What's his name?
Robert Salah.
Yeah, and he's like, we need to draft Jermaine Johnson. Like if Josh Allen runs out of the pocket, this man can catch him, and then it just instantly transitions to Josh Allen running out of the pocket and Jermaine Johnson getting him. That's pretty hard. Yeah, it's pretty hard. But yeah, I mean, when it's supposed to be your franchise player, dude, you just think that it's kind of weird to bench him this quick. You're not like I don't know. There's got to be another thing going on.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's such a weird situation. I don't really know. So apparently, from what I'm reading, they had Simeon and Peterman warming up, and then they just decided they were like, I guess Simeon threw better in warm-ups. Let's just roll with him. Like, okay. Like, that was a good choice. But, like, dude, no one gives a shit about Simeon. At least if you were going to lose 31-10, I'd like to see Nathan Peterman get, like, a rush.
Like, exactly. I'd like to slam a beer to Nathan Peterman.
Hell yeah. And I think we all know if Peterman would have won that game, the memes following that would have been
spectacular.
Spectacular. It would have shown that John Gruden clip where he was like, dude, Nathan Peterman, this guy's the answer.
Hey, listen, Derek Carr's got a great arm, man. But if I have to pick my MVP, I'm going with Johnny Football, man.
Oh my God, dude! Jesus Christ! Some questionable hot takes over the years.
This next game, I don't really have anything at all to say about it at all, other than that Heineke is that fucking boy, and they need to rock with him. I don't think there's even an argument. Like, just keep him. People love him. He's building culture. He's winning games. Like, yeah, he doesn't blow teams out, but he doesn't lose you guys games either. He's a dog, and I like dogs. You know, Washington beat the Falcons 19-13. Washington 7-5, dude.
Nope. I mean, hey, the way I look at it, I look at this as another meme team. You look at Heineke, spent a stint in the XFL, went back to college and slept on his sister's couch just to finish his career at Old Dominion. Dude is just a gamer. Gets a call one day, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come back and play football for the Redskins before we turn into the Commanders?"
Oh yeah, and by the way, it's in 6 days, and you're playing Tom Brady in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes, and then you're gonna take him down to the last drive and almost win the game, but Tom Brady's win the Super Bowl, and you're gonna kind of like just deal with it. Yes. All right.
Really.
Guess what? Here's a contract extension. There you go, buddy.
Also, is it too soon to say I want to see Desmond Ridder play?
Yes, and the only reason I say that is it's not a knock on Ridder. It's more of I think Arthur Smith is the epitome of just a brain dead coordinator. Dude got Cordell back for his offense as a running back. Really an all around weapon, and he was like, "Why not use Tyler Algier though? Why not use Huntley? Why not use 7 running backs instead of just sticking to our best running back?" I don't know. Oh, by the way, we drafted Drake London. Oh, we have Kyle Pitts. Oh shit! Let's not throw the ball.
Pitts is out. Pitts is out.
Well, now Pitts is out, but before it's like, oh, let's just not.
Well, the thing is with Pitts being out, you'd be like, oh, they're gonna abuse Drake London. Well, he had 2 catches for 29 yards. Nice.
Joke. By the way, Atlanta is a half game back of Tampa for the NFC South. By the way, every team in that division is under 500. Just so we should let everyone know just how bad that is. Whereas the Commanders are 7-5 and sit in dead last in their division. So imagine being over 500 and being last. couldn't be me.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
let's go to a game in which I feel like we have a lot more talking points. In which the Let's Ride Broncos lost to the Carolina Panthers 23-10. First of all, Sam Darnold, great game, 11 for 19, 164 yards, touchdown, no sacks, no picks. Great game from Sam Darnold. Still don't think he's like their guy. I think they need to either get Matt Corral back to be healthy or let PJ Walker do it. I just don't think Darnold's that guy. I think Darnold's kind of a permanent backup where he can give you like 1 or 2 great games, but he's not a longevity. He's not going to give you like a good season. But dude, how fucking pissed off are you if you are if you're the Broncos right now or you're a Broncos fan?
I mean,
you saw the clip. If anyone
yes.
did see it, of a defensive lineman. I think he's D tackle running off the field like when the offense goes on, and Russ says something to him, and he blows up in Russ's face, like blows the fuck up. Also, I want to let you know that this was Russell's, I think, 8th touchdown. So he still has 4 more to have the same amount of bathrooms in his house.
Yes.
Fun fact.
Don't know if he's gonna get it, to be honest, because let's be real.
He is fucking dog shit.
Yeah, dude, I've never seen more people in my life go from like respecting and loving this guy as like a human being and a quarterback to the moment he stops performing well, he's a cornball. He sucks. He's shit. Like people hate him, bro. Like,
dude, my entire I can tell you what time the Broncos game is on without watching any games because my Twitter feed just turns into Russell Wilson. And it just turns into uncooked food on a plate. And it's like Russ cooking.
Oh my God.
But listen, going on that, do you blame the D lineman? I don't remember his name. Do you blame him for doing that?
No, because there was a stat this year saying if the Broncos had scored 18 points in every game they played this year, they would be like what, 10-2? Like what?
Dude, that's what I was talking to my dad about. I was like, bro, they're the best defense in the NFL, and he can't help them out at all. He gave him 1 fucking touchdown. He gave him one touchdown.
You got outplayed by Sam Darnold, who had to be benched behind Baker.
And I'm hearing the reason they got rid of Melvin Gordon is because Melvin was like talking shit to Russ, and Russ didn't like it.
Well, whatever the reasoning was, they're screwed because you can't let him walk.
To stay with him. Yeah, you literally have to keep him.
Yeah, you can't let this man walk.
Who's the backup?
Don't even know. I could not tell you. Let me actually, you know what? Now that you said that, let me look at the depth chart. Brett Ripon.
So you're fucked.
Yeah, let me pull up this guy. This guy went to Boise State.
Brett Ripon, man. Fuck.
225 yards, 1 pick, 36.3 QBR. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say on what to do if you're you have everything you need. Like all last year, they were saying all we need is quarterback. It's like literally like fucking Wisconsin, bro. It's like all we need is quarterback. All we need is quarterback. They get a quarterback and he sucks. The defense is gross. The best defense in the NFL, in my opinion. But it doesn't matter when you're scoring 10 points a fucking game. Like, yeah, the defense is going to eventually get scored on. They're playing in the NFL.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, dude. I don't know what they can do other than obviously you have to let Nathaniel Hackett go. I think he's a shit head coach. He obviously isn't helping out at all. I think some of the blame does fall on him, but dude, do we really believe that Russ has fallen off this hard since Seattle, or was Pete Carroll just that fucking guy?
Yeah, so Richard Sherman was saying that like Pete just knew how to use him, and Pete knew him psychologically as well. Like he knew when Russ was upset, he knew what to do to get Russ back into rhythm. Like I don't think Hackett, that's his name, right? I don't think Hackett has a good relationship with Russ. And I think Russ doesn't have a good relationship with his team around him. Versus in Seattle, they all kind of like, I'm not saying they fucked with Russ, like they weren't boys with him, but they respected him and they trusted him. This team doesn't trust him. You know, the defense is having to overplay because they're scared that they need to get a shutout to win. You should never have that much pressure on the defense.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, you can just see the way they play too. Like Russ just doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. He just doesn't look like he's able to like do anything out there.
Bro,
Like,
the receivers don't even like they're not. No one's playing for Russ. No one's like, yes, we're gonna do. Like, no one gives a fuck. They're playing their bare minimum, and Russ is just playing like shit.
yeah, facts. Moving on from that game, this game was a shocker. The Jacksonville Jaguars pulling off the win at home versus the Baltimore Ravens, 28-27. Shout out Big Balls Doug Peterson for
Big nut sack Dougie, bro.
Yeah, bro, just going for it. 2-point conversion at the end of the game. You say, fuck it. We're winning it. We don't give a shit.
Dude, and by the way, I wanted him to. I was watching it and I was like, bro, please don't. You have so much momentum right now. Like, you have to. This is the fourth game this year where the Ravens have had like a crazy lead and blew it.
Yeah, I will say this. I low-key wanted Justin Tucker to make that 67-yarder.
I wanted him to make it so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, give him 2 more and he makes it.
Yeah.
That dude has a fucking cannon.
The fact that he was so accurate with it too, and the fact that it literally 6 inches further, it's in.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That's just crazy to me.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, bro. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. Let's call it out as Dougie P is that guy, Urban Meyer. Go hook up with college students, I guess. I don't really know what to tell you because you're not him. Dougie
Trevor
P,
Lawrence also, now that he's a real coach, is showing his true potential.
Yes, 100%. I think that's what I was kind of like leading into is he was the guy to call when it came to like raising that his like nurture his little quarterback prodigy. You know, when they needed a guy to breastfeed his little baby, Dougie P whipped out the titty.
Dougie P whipped it out.
Yeah, with Dougie
P.
No
pump either. No pump. He went straight nip.
Yeah.
He went straight nip.
Straight nip, just all the way, leading the team. You know, if there's a guy you need to call on to breastfeed your child, you're calling Doug Peterson. That's who it is.
Lamar, come to Tampa, bro. Please. Like, it's already there. Look at it. We'll block this. Come to Tampa, dude. Please.
Yeah.
I want Lamar to come to Tampa so bad.
He already applauded it. So like.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You already from Florida, and I know the weather is way better here than it is in Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland. Goddamn Maryland, bro. Is that where the Ravens play? Is Baltimore? Oh yeah, Baltimore.
That was stupid. That was dumb. We're gonna clip that. That was fucking stupid.
Holy shit. In other news, places you might not have known were actually where they are. Washington is in fact in DC. Anyway, moving on from that, our next game that kind of stumped me for a while. That's gonna bother me. Wow, that was hilarious. Arizona taking on the Chargers. Not as dumb, but equally as stupid. Something is definitely wrong with both the Cardinals and the Chargers because this game was just weird as hell. Just really just piss poor. Similarly to the Jaguars game, you know, we had them going for 2 at the end and getting it. Shout out them. Big balls, John Staley. I think that's his name. Brandon Staley. Sorry. Is what it is.
Herbert's a dog. I'm tired of the Herbert hate. I'm tired of people saying Herbert sucks. It's not his fault. Herbert's good as fuck. They made him into a check down machine because of play calls.
Let's talk about this real quick.
Well, I got stuff to say about both of these teams.
In their losses, 27 points given up, 38 points given up, 37 points given up, 22 points given up, 30 points given up. Those are all their losses. That cap cannot be giving up that amount of points and expecting to win. It just doesn't work like that. Now, look, I'll even say Herbert's not going to play perfect, but he plays like similarly to Josh Allen, like just has his bad games here and there. That's all it is.
I just think the coach for the Chargers needs to get fired. You have everything you need. Like, you have a top 5 talented team. You have a quarterback, running back, amazing receivers, a good defense. You have everything, and somehow you're 6-5, like barely 6-5 too.
Yeah. Wow. Goddamn. I mean, for the Cardinals, you know, you got Hopkins back. You have all your weapons. I don't know if James Conner played. Did he? I think he did.
Yeah, he balled out.
Yeah. You had there, dude. I just don't think Cliff Kingsbury is the answer. I really don't.
So this is where I was excited to go on. First and foremost, don't think Cliff Kingsbury's that good of a coach. He never broke 7-5 at Texas Tech. Got fired. Got fired from Texas Tech. Then hired as the USC offensive coordinator. Then hired as the head coach for the Cardinals. And then, he's an offensive mastermind. That is a fact. That's not an argument. Then they give him Kyler. Well, I don't think it's that good either. And then they start sucking. And then Kyler goes into the press conference and basically just starts shit talking Kingsbury like we were schematically fucked. First and foremost, Kyler, this dude did everything in his fucking mother's name to get you a bag to stay there. So to shit talk him publicly makes you a coward of man. Okay? Do I think he's helping you? Absolutely not. Do I think you're helping him? Absolutely not. But that's a conversation that two grown-ass men have together in the locker room or in the office. But to go out there and publicly say that, no, that's the same shit as Zach Wilson saying it wasn't his fault they lost. I'm sorry. I think as a quarterback, you're supposed to take the blame always. That's part of your job.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. There's a really weird scenario going on there. I wouldn't be surprised if they did part ways. Another thing is Cliff is an offensive guru, but I also, we touched on it in previous pods. I just don't think Kyler is that high of an IQ quarterback to like really read a defense and be able to go through his 1 through 4 reads and be able to diagnose plays breaking down. I think personally, the Cardinals are doing what the Panthers did with Cam Newton his first 2 years. They didn't trust him to make all 4 reads. So what did they do? They cut the field in half. They ran the same route concept on 2 sides. They said, ID the Mike linebacker, see where the least amount of defenders are on each side of the field, and you're going to break down that route tree. And you're going to go 1, 2, not there. Guess what? Run the fucking ball. That is what you're going to do.
And I think the other thing with it too, Zach, is like I don't think Kingsbury's a great coach. I'm not saying that, but I think Kyler's low-key making him look shittier because he's having to do more. Versus where like if you give a quarterback with a high IQ, he's like, all right, this is what we're going to give you. Obviously, you read this, you read that, you read this. You see this in the defense, you make an adjustment. Like Kyler doesn't make adjustments, and it gets fucked all the time. And that's not on Kingsbury. That's on Kyler. That's on Kyler in the pocket or right before the play calls. He doesn't read the defense, and this forces Kingsbury to have to dumb down the play calling a little, and also gives him more pressure because it's like fuck, dude, I can't make my high IQ offense that I got hired for as high IQ because Kyler can't make the fucking plays and he can't read the fucking plays. And on top of this, he proved to Kyler how fucking hard it was when he let Kyler call the plays in the fourth quarter in the preseason games, and they didn't score a fucking point.
That is so bad because the fact that he literally essentially told him without exposing him to the world, he was like, "Here's a play sheet." He's like, "Go for it.
You do it." Yeah, he said, "You fucking do it."
Yeah, and then I guarantee you, when it's Kyler, he's like, "Oh well, he's not me though."
Yeah, I would have walked up to Kyler and be like, "You done fucking questioning me? You're gonna let me start doing my fucking job?"
Yeah, facts. Speaking of making plays, you know who made some fucking plays this weekend? Josh Jacobs. This man single-handedly winning me fantasy football games as the Las Vegas Raiders pull off the overtime win over the Seattle Seahawks.
Dude, I'm 12-0 in my 32-man fantasy league in 3 weeks now in the season. I was supposed to lose, and Josh Jacobs has won it for me single-handedly.
Yeah, I think he has 3 or 4 games this season dropping over 30 points. And it's truthfully sad because Josh McDaniels has completely ruined this team for me.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird about his offensive run scheme? He allows his running backs to make plays. He doesn't design run concepts the way you normally do. I don't know the proper terminology, but the way he kind of runs his plays is he will purposely match it up to where Josh Jacobs will 100% have to meet a linebacker or a safety or a corner on the outside one-on-one. But guess what? If he beats that one man, 8 to 12 yards or even more. And Jacobs does it every time. And that's why it works so well. And that's why he's such a good running back this year, is because we kind of saw it in years past with the Patriots run games. Any running back they had, Damian Harris, Ramondre, it was kind of just here's the ball, beat your one guy, and you will gain 5 to 6 yards to carry every time. You'll be straight.
Dude, imagine if Gruden had this team. Imagine with Devontae Adams. I mean, Josh Jacobs is Gruden's guy.
Yep.
I think their offense would be I think they'd be a way better team. Way better team. Also, Geno Smith, not that bad at football, man.
So
not that bad at football.
Dude, I'm so happy for him. If, like, you just look, he has been the most unlucky quarterback like ever. And the more like we memed him for it, like the more we memed him for that, they wrote me off, but now I ain't right back. It has become the most true statement
Yeah.
of all time. Like he is balling this year. He's a top 10 fantasy quarterback. He's getting it done for them. Pete Carroll trusts him. They traded for Drew Lock, and he was like, nah. He's like, this is my team. And they trust him. They love him.
Dude, he's not bad. He's not bad.
At all. Dude, he put up 34 and they lost. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on. Now, that's not his fault. Personally, if you were to ask me, you let up Josh Jacobs have 300 total yards of offense. That's literally insane. By the way, another thing about Josh Jacobs real quick. You know how people talk about like, oh, you should play your best football when it's your contract year. You should be playing your best football when like you need the money. Raiders don't franchise tag him. Say, this is pretty much your last year. You're going to walk. And what does he do? Best football of his entire life.
Balls out.
Pretty much tells the Raiders, go fuck yourself. I'm going to be the best running back for another team. And you can watch me do it while I win you games.
I think it also helps him that their passing game sucks dick. I think that also helps him a lot.
I don't know how though. Devontae Adams gets like 200 yards a game because Derek Carr only looks at him because they almost died in a car crash.
He didn't play that well this game. He only had 7 touches for 74 yards, no touchdown. I mean, it's not bad, but I just think that's why Josh Jacobs does so well too. Is like there's the threat of the receivers that they have, but they're not actually good, so they can just abuse Josh Jacobs. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, Josh Jacobs also literally looking like a mini beast mode out there. Like
dude, he runs hard. Like it's enjoyable to watch him run. He does not take plays off.
Yeah, ever.
I remember there was a lot of controversy when he came to the NFL because he wasn't like a true starting one for Alabama. He was in a rotation. And Gruden was like, we like that because we know his skill's there. He doesn't need to prove us his skill, but he's got half the hits that a normal guy took in college. And it's showing, it's showing.
Yeah, he can really take the abuse. And he doesn't mind it either. He's a 3-down back. Any play you need him in, he can catch the ball too. He can pass block. He can do anything you need him to do. A real Gruden grinder.
Real Gruden grinder.
Yeah, just that guy. Moving on from that, I don't have I'm gonna be honest. I was out to dinner with my family during the Kansas.
I mean, all I gotta say about this game is Isaiah Pacheco is a fucking dog. Great addition to their team. I think he's a great running back for them. And he can be utilized very well. Travis Kelce's still that guy, will always be that guy, forever that guy. Patty did not have that good of a game, man. He only got me 18 points in fantasy. He did not have that good of a game.
It's just one of those games where like you're ahead early and like the other team doesn't pose much of a threat, so like you really don't have to do anything. And also I think McVay is just such a great coach that he knows how to limit but not completely like stop. Like because it's impossible to stop one of the greatest tight end quarterback combos we've ever seen. There's not much you could do. They tried. Los Angeles just isn't that team this year. They kind of need to go into a rebuild. It is what it is. But yeah,
my thing too is like, why the fuck aren't they using Cam Akers at all? He had 8 touches.
Dude, they don't use him at all. I don't know why. Personally, from what I've seen, from all the film that I've seen across my feed, he's not good in pass blocking schemes, and McVay doesn't like that because McVay needs to be able to have you on the field to disguise you being like, hey, can we use you as an extra blocker and send our tight end out on routes? Or is every time you're on the field, are we going to have to keep our tight end there or only run 10-man personnel because we can't trust you to block?
But, shouldn't have McVay noticed that when he drafted him?
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I feel like that's more on. Yeah, my belief is you have to be able to do a little bit of everything. Yes, I still believe coaches need to be able to assess your strengths and weaknesses and be able to use you properly. But if you just can't flat out pass block at all, like that's kind of one of the.
Bro, I don't think Cam Akers is that dog shit at pass blocking.
Dude, he literally like runs away from defenders.
Bro, they could be utilized to get so much better.
They could. I just think, Here's another problem. I don't think he's that much better than Darrell Henderson to the point where they're like, oh, well, you are like kind of in the same
Henderson's
tier of
hurt,
like,
bro.
Who's their backup then?
It was him and Kyron Williams were the only people to play that ran, and they shared like 15 carries the whole game.
Well,
that's bad. That's bad coaching. That's bad coaching.
Well, if they thought the other guy could run block or pass block, then they were like,
he's
hey,
5'9", the other guy.
He probably stood in front of people. I'm just saying.
I don't care. I just think Cam Akers is extremely talented and isn't being able to show it off.
Fair enough. Hopefully he can show it at some point. It just surely probably won't be under McVay. Moving on to our last two games, or three, excuse me. I forgot our Monday night game. But our last two, we had the 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints, another game that I
didn't give a fuck about it. Andy Dalton fucked my fantasy, and I have Chris Olave, which fucked my fantasy.
Yeah, super just buns football.
Jimmy G is like the greatest, worst quarterback ever.
Yeah, probably the greatest game manager of all time.
Dude, it's crazy how you have their offense, and you look at like Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Debo, and they're putting 13 fucking points up. Like, what?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
This might be the most diverse offense in the NFL, and you're putting 13 fucking points up.
Yeah, I get why they wanted to move to Trey Lance, but you can't manage a game like Jimmy G.
I don't think Trey Lance is better than Jimmy G.
No. That's what I'm saying. You can't manage a game like Jimmy G can. And
yeah, Jimmy G's not going to lose you any games, but he's not going to be the deciding factor ever. Like, if it comes down to him, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's just how it's going to be. I view him in the same realm as like. See, now I can't say this because I at least think Kirk Cousins can make plays, but the problem is
Kirk Cousins has won them a game or two.
That's why I'm saying I can't put them in the same category because at least Kirk Cousins can make plays, but I don't think Jimmy G can. Like, I'm not going to expect Jimmy fucking G to roll out of the pocket and make a throw on the run 30 yards down the field in a perfect window. Kirk will randomly at 1 p.m. be able to do that.
1 p.m.
Yeah, be able to do that. It's just how it is. Jimmy is the same player Monday through Sunday night. It's just.
You think it's time for the Saints to bring Jameis back?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna fuck me in fantasy though because I have Andy Dalton.
Yeah, it's just really weird. That's a weird scenario. I will say this: Jameis did have the dumbest comment I've ever heard. He goes, it's like an unwritten rule in this league that like when you get hurt, you should have a chance to win your starting job back. I'm like, go tell that to Alex Smith, Drew Bledsoe, Tyrod Taylor, Gina, like literally any quarterback where a rookie came in and took over, a la Tom Brady. Those players, they pretty much just told them like, yeah, you're fucked, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues, bro. There's billions of dollars being moved around. You gotta win.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Yep. Guess what? I mean, hey, if Cooper Rush would have made maybe 2 more plays, maybe Coop would still be out there. I'm just saying. But, yeah, I digress. Nothing really to talk about in that game. Chris Olave continues to prove why Ohio State wide receivers make up wide receiver university. Our next game, this one was interesting as hell. This was a lot closer than I thought. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers. This was in the city of brotherly love. Jalen Hurts broke the single game rushing record for the Philadelphia Eagles for a quarterback, rushing for 157 yards. Aaron Rodgers got hurt, which brought on the great Jordan Love, who was supposed to be the protege.
He didn't play bad. He went 6 for 9, 113 yards and a tutty.
Yeah, not bad at all. Unfortunately, you ran into a red-hot Eagles team that ain't gonna make a lot of mistakes, buddy.
Dude,
yeah,
Jalen
back and forth
Hurts
game
is
all
so
night.
fucking good.
Dude, I love him. He's such
He's so good at football.
Yeah, so good at football. Great character. Got just all around. That's the guy you want to lead.
And you know what I think he does very well too that I don't think it's talked about a lot is he doesn't have like a wide receiver one. He moves the ball around so well throughout his guys, and it just gets them more reps. And it also on defense makes it harder because he could literally throw to everyone. I mean, bro, in this game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers, 2 with 4 catches, 2 with 3, 2 with 1. Like he's dishing it out to everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Miles Sanders is good too, bro.
I agree. One of the things I told my brother is we were sitting down before the game. We were making some bets, and he was betting on anytime touchdown scores and first time touchdown scores. And I was like, dude, this is just one of those games where fucking Gainwell is going to get a rushing touchdown to start the game. He goes, dude, I'm not throwing money on Gainwell. Who scores the first touchdown of the game? Kenneth Gainwell.
Didn't he need Christian Watson?
Yeah, he needed it. But I told him, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I was like, Eagles are definitely scoring first. The better team normally scores first. And I was like, and if you think about it, if you want to break this down numbers wise, how often is the first touchdown a game like a 30, 40-yard touchdown? It's not. What it usually is, it's you have a really solid, consistent drive that gets you all the way into the red zone. And then who ends up getting you your red zone touchdowns? Your red zone packages. That's where Gainwell comes in for Miles Sanders. This is where Goddard gets his looks. He's injured, I know. But I'm just saying, like, in the past, this isn't where your A.J. Browns take over or your Devontae Smiths. No, it's your bigger guys that get things done in the red zone. And that's why you have these weird projections for like guys getting the first time touchdowns or anytime touchdown scores. It's just how it is in this league. But yeah, other than that, great game. Packers fall to 4-8, so they're actually worse than the Lions. They're in last.
Lions are 4-7. It's the same fucking shit.
Hey, not in the standings. Not in the standings. That's all I'm saying.
You think A-Rod's gone? You think he's done?
I think him and Tom should just sign a deal with Fox or CBS and just do all the games in the booth
and make the same amount of money they're making now and just not get hit.
And then if the game is really shit, like what they should do is they should do Thursday night football. And then if the teams suck that bad, they just throw Tom and Aaron to play each other for the quarterback. Like they just throw.
I would watch that. I would watch that.
Yeah. Just randomly, they can just like fantasy draft players like at any given time. Like if we're watching like the Bears and the Jets play, and they're like, dude, this game sucks. So like, hey, Tom, you're getting rep. It's like a celeb shot, and
they're just a celeb shot, but like a whole quarter.
Yeah, a whole quarter. Yeah, you get a celebrity quarter. Yeah, we randomly just bring back Marshawn Lynch for no reason, just like out of nowhere. But moving on from that, we have that covers all of our Sunday night games. Let's go to our Monday night game. This one was interesting.
Yeah, I did not watch. So before we go into this, I did not watch this game. I did have Jonathan Taylor though, and he finally had a game where I wasn't like super pissed off at him, which was nice. But all I kept seeing on social media was that Jeff Saturday like shit the bed at the end of the game or something, or like what can
terrible clock.
Yeah, what happened? I didn't know. I've been really fucking sick, so yesterday I slept all day, so I did not watch the game yesterday.
Dude, okay, first of all, he comes out with the comment after the game. He's like, oh, dude, I thought we had more time. I'm like, dude, you got to know. I'm like, you got to know this. You have 3 timeouts left. You can't bring those 3 timeouts into next week. Just call the timeout. Like you have same thing in the Bucs situation. But no, they're just like, nah, like we're just not going to call a timeout here. Like I'm pretty sure it was like the last drive. And I don't know. Something went down though where he just didn't use, because I'm in the same boat as you. Like I started watching the game and then I was like dead beat from like just like not wanting to do anything. I just drove back from Tampa and I was like, dude, I'm not doing this. I'll try to find the whole debacle real quick.
I don't. I just kept seeing it all on my Twitter today. But I mean, Taylor 20 carries, 86 yards and a touchdown. He had two catches for 12 yards. Michael Pittman looked good, 7 for 61 and a tutty. Matt Ryan didn't play terrible, 22 for 34, 200 yards, touchdown and a pick, 3 sacks for 19 yards. Though that's not good actually. Kenny Pickett, all right, Blake Snell Jr. and Najee Harris had good games though.
Yeah, so this is what pretty much happened.
Benny Snell Jr. I'm sorry, that was very stupid. Man.
Okay, you get to the 2-minute warning. It's 4th and 3 in your own 37, and you don't call your first timeout till there's 30 seconds left in the game.
They got the 4th down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so this is how it went down. After converting, then Matt Ryan was sacked for a 7-yard loss.
Timeout.
Nope.
That's what you should do, though.
Oh, no, that's what you should do. Then scrambled for 14 yards on 2nd down. Don't call a timeout. Now there's 59 seconds left in the game. Still didn't call a timeout. Slow approached it. Let the ball go all the way down the play clock. Run it again for no gain. So it's 3rd and 3. You're still at midfield, 30 seconds left. And then you're like, oh, yeah, timeout. what's going on? What you and then they asked him, they're like, they asked him, like, what did you think? He goes, Jeff Saturday says, I didn't feel like time was really of the essence at that.
Oh, my bad.
Bless you. What does that even mean? Time wasn't of the essence at that moment.
It means he wasn't paying fucking attention. That's what it means.
Hey, buddy, they literally stopped the fucking game to let you know there were 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
They literally tell you. It's not like in college where it's like, we just stop it after first downs. No, they literally stop the game and go, 2-minute warning.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, guys, there's only 2 minutes left in the game.
See that? 2 minutes. We're giving you a full 60-second timeout. We're going to go to commercial break. But no, time isn't of the essence. Guess what? Time is of the essence here at Clocks on the Stove. We're going to wrap things up for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying with us. Tomorrow, we have another episode coming out with you as we have some special guests that we will be bringing on.
Big college football
breakdown
tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And as you know, tonight, or technically yesterday when this pod drops, the college football playoff rankings will be dropped. And if Florida State is not in the top 12, I will personally take a drive down to wherever the committee is being held and commit some heinous crimes. Other than that, I don't have much to say. On to next week. Good luck to all of our fantasy players entering the playoffs. I think they have 1 to 2 weeks left.
2 weeks left till playoffs, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever your situation is.
Oh, you didn't make it? You're done?
No, I have a chance to make it in 2 of my leagues, but the other one, I am in second to last place. I am playing to not be fantasy bitch because we haven't decided our penalty yet, but I'm afraid.
Damn, I was fantasy bitch last year. It's not fun.
Yeah, because here's the thing though. If I am fantasy bitch, I will say this. I'm going to be a man and I'm going to do a fantasy punishment. I'm tired of people playing in leagues that brag about doing a punishment all year, and then when they come in last place, they're like, "Oh no, I'm not going to do a punishment." Like, dude, fuck you. Be a man. You would expect your money to get paid. We're expecting you to be the bitch when you lose. Take it like a man.
And right before we get off, Baltimore is in fact in the state of Maryland.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.